How's it going, everybody? This is Daniel Kaplan here. So in this video, I'm going to be diving into more of the off-market prospecting on the commercial real estate side. So for context, we work with a bunch of private equity shops and individuals in the commercial real estate space, and we see everybody have the same problem. And the challenge is, in the commercial real estate world, there's only a couple of ways that most people are sourcing their deals. The number one way is using brokers, right? Find the brokers in the market, build the relationships, and yeah, they'll send you some deals. And the other option is usually building relationships, maybe go to talk with your lenders, talk to your insurance companies, your title companies, let everybody know, say, hey, we transact, we're looking for this, more so word of mouth. But what most of these commercial real estate shops don't pride themselves on is their ability to market at scale. Is nobody is priding themselves on actually going direct to seller and sourcing these deals. Now, for the shops who do that, what they do is they'll go on CoStar, they go and pull a list, then they'll go and cold call, they'll try and do 100 calls per day. But at the end of the day, that's not going to get you results because one, you're not doing enough volume, but two, you have no alpha. You're doing what everybody else can do. It is so easy for any fucking idiot to go and pull a list on CoStar and click go on their phone. There is no skill there, right? That is what everybody else is doing. And we've been able to find a blue ocean within the markets and the assets that we're in because we have built this system. So for any of you who are looking to start sourcing these CRE deals, again, like if you're a shop or a fund, stop paying these 80 grand brokerage fees. This is the internal machine that you should be building to outweigh your competition. So like I said, the first thing is the data side. That is the foundation of everything that you are doing. So once you obviously know the assets and the markets that you're looking at, the biggest pillar is your data. And what I do not recommend is solely pulling from CoStar and clicking go and hoping for the best, right? That is what everybody is doing. You have no edge. You are going to be calling the same people that everybody else is. So there's a couple of things that we're doing, right? So not only are we pulling from CoStar or for Reonomy, but we have built our own internal data scrapers. And for example, some of those being, we will go on the county websites and scrape for zoning codes, right? Let's say I'm looking at industrial outdoor storage and I know that this certain zoning is the most conducive for that asset class. I'll go and scrape all of those zoning codes and build my database. The next thing is Google Maps. So within Google Maps, there's two ways you can scrape. Number one is keywords, right? When you look up any building or any asset, you'll see like a certain keyword that identifies what kind of building this thing is. And the other way, which is probably my favorite way, is doing satellite image scraping. So, for example, if I'm buying mobile home parks and you look at the satellite image, the aerial images, it's very easy to tell what kind of asset this is. So you can train an AI with all of these images to actually build lookalike images, and from there you go and scrape those images. Now, those are just three of those additional ways that you can pull data. I've got 20 others that we typically use, but for the sake of simplicity within this video, find ways to get data that nobody else is talking to. You want to try and find a blue ocean within your market. And the biggest way to do that is being savvy within your data. But then also the biggest part of that is the skip tracing side of things. So you're dealing with LLCs, you're dealing with these owners. You need to have a good system and a good skip tracing company that you're working with too, to jump through the hoops of these LLCs to identify the owners. Now, once you have your data, you build your data set, it's time to actually do the outreach. And what I recommend for everybody is you cannot be a one-trick pony. And the reason being is because some marketing channels are more conducive for certain kind of owners. And what I mean by that is some owners will never pick up a cold call. Some will never answer a text. Some will never answer an email. So for us, when we build these lists, we build our records of, hey, we got these 5 or 10,000 assets we're doing outreach on. You want to hit these guys from every single angle. So we're going to be cold calling them. We're going to be texting them. We're going to be dropping them voicemails. We're going to be shooting over emails. We want to be hitting these guys with every single touch point possible until we get on the phone with the decision maker. And even if we do get on the phone with them and they say, Daniel, I don't want to sell, great. I still database that in my CRM. And every single month I send them a text just checking in saying, hey, just wanted to check in here. So maybe they don't want to sell today, but maybe 12 months from now they will. And because I have been reaching out to them every single month, I want to always be the first person that they think of. So that is why you want to be also hitting these guys from every single angle and then nurturing those prospects deeply. So making sure that you have a CRM and you have the systems that can do all these channels at once, but then also nurture these guys over a longer term time horizon. And now the biggest thing is like your team. right? We are building a lot of outreach. We are having a lot of conversations, generating a lot of opportunities. You need to be building a team that can handle this, whether it's putting individuals in place who are handling the cold calling or the texting or the underwriting or the follow-ups or your CRM. You need to build a team around this system because otherwise it won't scale. Once you start doing this outreach and you're hitting these guys with 6 different touch points every single month, you are going to be drowning in opportunities, and the last thing that you want is deals to slip through the cracks. So you need to make sure that you are building the team that can actually handle this and that can make sure that no deals are slipping through, that no systems are breaking, that every single day your team is doing those outputs. So whether it's the data side, the outreach side of your team, this is where you find your edge. You need to go extremely deep on these facets. Do not cut corners. Do not try and go the easy route. That is where you will find the biggest edges against your competition. And the biggest thing is this takes time, right? Like when you launch this machine, you launch this system, do not expect results in a month. This is a 3, a 6, a 9, a 12-month time horizon where if you keep nurturing these leads, if you keep having these conversations, if you keep trying to find alpha within these buckets, you will succeed and you will keep crushing with actually doing your deal sourcing. We have sourced over $50 million worth of CRE assets in 2026 alone, and we're hoping to continue to scale and scale that up. So hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, drop them below in the comments. Always happy to dive into it.